Bonjour à tous, j'espère que vous allez bien. Moi c'est Arthur de la chaîne Farming Together et aujourd'hui j'ai décidé de vous emmener avec moi en Nouvelle-Zélande afin de découvrir une agriculture à la fois proche et différente de celle qu'on peut retrouver en Europe. Pour cela je suis parti avec Gilbert, un technicien de l'entreprise, parce qu'il y a aussi des machines à aller voir dans ce pays et c'était aussi intéressant par le biais de ce voyage de découvrir les agriculteurs locaux, les entrepreneurs, les éleveurs laitiers et les éleveurs de moutons puisque c'est typique de ce pays. J'en ai pris plein les yeux durant ces 2 dernières semaines et j'aimerais vous le partager durant ces 2 prochaines vidéos. À la fois au niveau de la culture qui était très enrichissante et aussi des techniques puisque j'ai pu voir notamment un hélicoptère en train de fertiliser les pâtures, mais ça je vous le laisserai découvrir durant ces 2 vidéos. Si ces 2 vidéos vous plaisent, n'hésitez pas à vous abonner à la chaîne puisque c'est important de nous soutenir dans ce projet et à activer la cloche pour ne manquer aucun de nos épisodes. Moi je vous souhaite une bonne vidéo et je vous donne rendez-vous tout de suite pour partir avec moi.
Ah oui, et j'oubliais, juste avant de lancer la vidéo, c'était juste pour vous dire qu'on sera présent avec Estelle au CIMA le 6, 7, 8, 9 et 10 novembre prochain. Ce sera vraiment un plaisir de vous rencontrer, donc n'hésitez pas à nous rejoindre sur le stand dans le hall 5A pour nous rencontrer. Bonne vidéo à vous!
Bon, le voyage vient de débuter, là on s'apprête à enregistrer nos bagages et ensuite on va aller à la zone d'embarquement. Bon, ça y est, on est parti, on va bientôt monter dans l'avion. Il y a eu quelques petites péripéties avant de monter dans l'avion, notamment avant d'embarquer. Je vous en dirai un peu plus à mon arrivée. Et là, c'était un peu le parcours du combattant. Et là, direction Dubaï. Vous avez vu ça un peu? C'est impressionnant. C'est vraiment la démesure ici à Dubaï. Bon, ce voyage il était un peu particulier puisqu'on a eu quelques petites complications comme vous avez pu le suivre pour certains sur nos pages Instagram et Facebook. Il y a eu une annulation de vol et ensuite on a eu un retard sur un vol. Donc on a passé énormément de temps sur le transport. Donc on est parti, pour vous donner une idée, on est parti jeudi matin. Là aujourd'hui on est samedi soir et donc c'est assez fatigant et le jet lag se fait pas encore ressentir. Mais je pense que demain ça va vite être compliqué. Voilà, donc aujourd'hui on en profite pour visiter les paysages de la Nouvelle-Zélande. Comme vous voyez, c'est assez exceptionnel. Il y a les montagnes juste à proximité de la ville où on était, du coup on en a profité pour aller faire un petit tour avec Gilbert. Aujourd'hui c'est plus calme parce qu'on attend l'importateur, on le rejoint ce soir pour planifier un peu notre semaine et puis pour savoir quels agriculteurs on va les rencontrer. Et on va découvrir ça ensemble cette semaine. Et justement Gilbert, c'est un technicien de l'entreprise. Moi je l'accompagne pendant ces 2 semaines. Gilbert, est-ce que tu peux te présenter et dire un peu ce que tu vas faire pendant ces 2 semaines et ce qu'on va pouvoir observer durant notre voyage?
Oui, Gilbert, je travaille chez Sulky, donc maintenant Farming Together depuis 34 ans. Je m'occupe donc au niveau du SAV Export des pays overseas, comme on le dit, donc des pays un peu éloignés, donc comme l'Australie et la Nouvelle-Zélande. Et là, on vient en Nouvelle-Zélande visiter donc nos deux importateurs, l'entreprise Tulloch pour la gamme Sky et l'entreprise Norwood pour la gamme Sulky. Donc l'objectif, c'est d'aller visiter des clients, voir comment ça se passe, comment nos machines sont utilisées et bon, voilà, les contraintes du pays. Et puis également une autre partie, formation de l'équipe technique, des deux entreprises.
Et on va aller sur les deux îles du coup.
Et on va aller sur les deux îles, hein, puisque avec l'entreprise Tulloch, on est sur l'île du Sud et avec l'entreprise Norwood, on sera sur l'île du Nord. Donc voilà, la semaine prochaine.
Honnêtement, j'espère qu'on va avoir le temps avec nous parce que c'est un peu grisonnant là.
La Nouvelle-Zélande est un pays vert, donc un peu comme la Bretagne. Donc, il y a de l'eau, ça va être gris, mais on espère qu'on aura des éclaircies.
Située à 19 000 km de l'Europe, la Nouvelle-Zélande est une terre de contraste aux antipodes de l'Europe. Elle concentre sur un si petit espace une diversité de milieux impressionnante. Entre son littoral, ses chaînes de montagnes, ses zones volcaniques ou encore ses forêts exotiques, ce pays regroupe tant de magnifiques paysages. C'est l'une des raisons pour lesquelles j'ai décidé de partir à l'aventure dans ce pays. Connue pour être une agriculture étroitement liée à l'élevage, on discerne deux types d'élevages principaux, l'élevage de moutons et l'élevage laitier. Grâce à Tim, responsable commercial de zone sur l'île du Sud, et John, le directeur général de Tulloch Farm Machine, j'ai pu rencontrer un éleveur laitier ainsi qu'un entrepreneur de travaux agricoles. Corey est un entrepreneur de travaux agricoles situé sur l'île du Sud qui s'est spécialisé dans la préparation de travail du sol et le semis en agriculture de conservation. Pour cela, il s'est équipé d'un easy drill 6 mètres constitué de 4 trémies afin de répondre au mieux aux demandes de ses clients. Comme l'agriculture de conservation est une référence dans ce pays, j'en profite pour aller le rencontrer et échanger avec lui sur sa vision à ce sujet.
Corey. I've been contracting now for, this is our 7th season. We started our business in 2015. We have had numerous drills and yeah, we've just recently purchased 12 months ago a Sky Easy drill. And we cover lots of different variations, from drilling small seeds right up to processed peas, and yeah, from all different conditions, from direct drilling into cultivation land, from cropping farmers, for seed producers and dairy farmers as well for regrassing. So far we've had the drill just about 12 months today, and we've done 2,500 hectares. So yeah, we're on our 3rd set of discs. Seed boots are lasting really well. We go into so many different conditions. We're in stony conditions, sandy, silty, loamy conditions, heavy clay conditions.
Because it's a big area where you work?
It's, yeah, the Canterbury Plains are a very big area. We cover sort of the Selwyn area, which is we probably go in vicinity about 50k radius, about an hour's travel is, you know, each side of home is where we sort of cut off.
Okay.
Yeah, we do cover a bit of ground. We don't do big paddocks. A lot of our average size paddocks, maybe 4, 5, 6 hectare paddocks. Our biggest paddocks, we may get into a 20 to 30 hectare paddock if we're lucky. But most of the time, yeah, we're averaging around those small paddocks. So to cover the 2,500 hectares, we are doing a lot of turning and folding up and unfolding and lots of calibrations. Some days I can calibrate up to 5 or 6 times in a day.
Because, for example, you make how many hectares in a day?
In a good day, I've drilled 45 hectares in a good day, and a bad day I've drilled 18 paddocks for about 20 hectares. Okay. So lots of variation.
About this tool?
Oh yeah,
it's a really interesting tool.
Yeah, we decided to fit it to the back of the Sky Easy Drill. So now we have the ability to lift our half-ton bags in and make things a lot easier. So we've got 5 meters reach with this crane, and we can pick up a half-ton bag from 5 meters out and swing it right round, and I can just walk up the steps at the front and pull the drawstring. So it's a really good. And we made use of the mounting holes already on the back of the chassis. And my engineer, R&L Engineering, he had the steel all bent up and profile cut for us, and slotted it in, bolted it up, and welded it all together, and it's really handy. So that just operates. We turn the fan on and then turn a diverter valve, and it brings the oil down to the back, and I just turn my park lights on to activate the safety switch, and then we just operate from the back here. So.
We are here in New Zealand, and conservation agriculture is like a religion. What is your point of view about that today?
Things are definitely changing. We've seen a big move again back to a lot more direct drilling. Our direct drilling, we probably do 80% is all direct drilling. Just depends on the conditions. You know, we still use a plough and the conventional cultivation, things like that from time to time. We still do work for cropping farmers who, you know, cultivate every paddock, and you get better results by cultivation. I think you're taking away risks of slugs and all your livestock that shouldn't be in your paddocks, and you know, whereas direct drilling, it's good, it might be cheaper, but then you might start spending more money on slug baits and insecticides, and there's a lot more risk involved. So yeah, we've definitely seen a shift in the regenerative stuff as well. A lot of guys are planting cover crops, catch crops, to, you know, to trap the nitrogen and hold on to that.
To increase the organic matter.
Yeah, increase the organic matter. I've had some customers that said their soil tests and everything, they're lifting organic matter by just leaving the straw in the ground, you know, direct drilling cover crops, whether it be just oats or something after the wheat crops and that, just for grazing of lambs through the winter. There's a lot of lamb grazing on cropping farms for the winter. It helps with setting up the likes of clover crops, grass seed crops. You know, stock does a nice job of you know, nipping off a new grass seed crop and allowing it to tiller out, and things like that. So yeah, stock is still plays a pretty big part in a cropping farm. Lots of people have been trying these multi-species things, like you've got your grasses, you've got 10 different types of clovers, you've got sunflowers and all sorts in these paddocks, but you can do as little as oats and buckwheat, or just something that has got a good root structure that can actually go down.
Complements each other.
Yeah, and it can start, there's certain things you can't put in the ground around here because of people are growing radish crops, high value seed crops, where if you go and put all these types of different clovers in a paddock and then they're in seed, you got bees flying around and cross-pollinator a crop you've just wiped out. So you got to be very careful of what you're doing. So I'm very aware of people doing that. So they are, you know, they've got to be very careful in what species they're planting, because yeah, their neighbours wouldn't be very happy if they're losing, you know, $100,000 seed crop because of cross-pollination and things like that. So, like regenerative, like I think there's so many ways you can do it, but most of all, you're applying, you know, nutrients and nitrogen and all that sort of stuff through the types of plants you're actually planting. You know, like clovers and everything, they're really good for nitrogen in the soil, and then you've got your bigger rooted plants which will go down and sort of aerate your soil, and then eventually, if you do it long enough, you get this nice friable, nice structured soil, healthy soil. And I've got customers that you could go in and direct drill all day every day, and that's where they're sort of trying to go. You just see a nice healthy soil, lots of worms, it's easy to direct drill, and everything is just, yeah, it's just so easy, and they get nice bright crops. Whereas, you know, you still get the guys that are relying on fertilizers all the time, which, you know, when you're heavily cropping, you do need help from fertilizer, otherwise you're not going to get they're taking so much out, they need to put it back in. So
do you see some problem of compaction maybe in your summer?
With direct drilling after direct drilling after direct drilling, I think that's okay for a wee while, and then you get to a stage where it will need either a subsoil or a full cultivation just to release that compaction, because like even sheep do a compaction issue around here. People think it's only cows, but you know, when you're grazing thousands of lambs and they're on a short break, it packs things down pretty hard.
Je continue alors mon voyage avec Gilbert et j'en profite pour rencontrer Brent et Pader, tous les deux céréaliers dans la région de Canterbury. La spécificité de cette région, c'est que c'est une plaine, et dans cette plaine, les agriculteurs ont réintroduit des haies dans le but de lutter contre le vent. Donc le vent, il a un impact négatif sur la fertilisation, sur l'irrigation. C'est d'ailleurs pour cela qu'ils utilisent beaucoup les pivots, mais encore sur les cultures mises en place ou bien le bétail. L'autre spécificité de cette région, c'est qu'il y a une rivière qui passe à travers, et de chaque côté de cette rivière, les potentiels de sol ne sont pas du tout les mêmes. D'un côté, on a des sols de type caillouteux, et de l'autre, des sols avec des forts potentiels, avec des matières organiques pouvant aller jusqu'à 5%. Et cette région, elle est connue puisque c'est là où les records du monde de rendement en céréales sont faits, entre 120 et 140 quintaux en moyenne. En ce qui concerne l'élevage laitier, il prend une place vraiment très importante sur l'île du Sud, au même titre que sur l'île du Nord. Mais pour cela, on va aller voir Stuart qui va nous expliquer son fonctionnement, puisqu'aujourd'hui il possède 3100 vaches à la traite, Et je vous en dis pas plus à ce sujet puisqu'il va nous expliquer tout ça. En arrivant chez Stuart, j'ai été surpris par le fait qu'il n'y avait pas de stable. En fin de compte, en Nouvelle-Zélande, la plupart du temps, les vaches restent à l'extérieur. Les seuls bâtiments que l'on retrouve dans le milieu des champs, c'est les salles de traite. Et en général, on retrouve les pâtures juste autour.
Hello Stuart.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, good, thanks.
So here we are on your farm
Yes.
and you are milking the cow now. So can you present your farm here in general?
In general, this is Rotopai Farms,
Yeah.
which means good water or good lagoon, and we milk 3,000 cows between 2 sheds.
Okay.
Employ 15 staff full time, and they all live on farm in their houses,
Okay.
and predominantly Jersey cows, so Jersey dairy cows,
Yeah.
80%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
The
a
rest
family.
is Holstein.
The crossbred, Kiwi cross.
Okay.
Yep, and 80%. Family farm. We've been here since 1931,
Okay.
and so we farm. In total, we farm 1,900 hectares. We supply Fonterra.
Yeah.
So we send about 2 tankers, 2 units a day
Okay.
at peak production.
Yeah.
They're the big vets, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're predominantly grass fed with barley,
Okay.
crushed barley in the shed.
Okay.
But all paddock-fed cows.
Yeah.
So
So
no.
how do you manage your paddocks?
So a rotation. So we work out the dry matter of each paddock, and we put them on a rotation, probably 18 to 21 day rotation in the peak time, which is now sort of through October, November, December, and then summertime we start irrigating.
Yeah.
About 600 hectares of the 800
Okay.
with centre pivots, and which is all river extraction or sort of 60-metre deep bore
Yeah.
extraction, and we're seasonal suppliers, so we spring calve, so we calve late July, August, September,
Yeah.
and then we dry off the cows sort of late May, early June. So we did sort of 10 months, 280 days milking, 300 days milking roughly. Yeah.
Okay. So during the year, the cows still in the field
Yes.
all times, always.
So always for 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
365 days a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was not, it's not very cold in the winter here.
Not very cold. We have cold days, but we have a few frosts, but
Yeah.
never minus days, minus degree days. For all day. Like
Yeah.
we might have a frost, but normally a frost comes with a nice day.
Sure.
But we get a lot of rain. We've had probably last 3 or 4 months. We've had a lot of rain,
Okay.
more than normal.
Very wet season.
But normally we're about 1,000. Our area where we live now, about 1,000 to 1,100 millimetres a year over the year. So not a lot, and summer dry,
Yeah.
and then winter wet. But it has been changing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you talked about your irrigation system.
Yep.
Can you tell me more about that? About your management and.
So we
something-
sort of out of the 600 hectares irrigated, there's about 400 hectares under centre pivot irrigation, so nine different pivots,
Yeah.
and they just go around. Some part circles, some are 270 degrees, some are full circle pivots,
Okay.
and it's just all grass. We grow grass under them.
And the pivot is the current system here in New Zealand, or?
The pivot,
Yeah.
probably it's the most efficient and
Yeah.
low labour, and it suits it. So our Wairarapa farms are a bit different. We have little pockets of flat,
Yeah.
plus we have some sand hills or hilly stuff. So contours are a bit different. So we have to use some K-lines, which are manual labour, like driving around quad bikes or side-by-side bikes,
Okay.
towing them. Yeah. So what fit for purpose, I suppose. Yeah.
So here in your farm, there is 2 rotary system
Yes.
milking. So can you explain to me how it works and how many people need to work around this type of system?
So should we go in and now have a look in
Yeah.
rotary? And,
Yeah.
this is an 80 bale.
Yep.
So this one, this is 2013 built, this shed. It's De La Val.
Yep.
De La Val system. And it's an 80 bale rotary. Capacity to do about 500 to 600 cows an hour.
Yeah.
And we can milk at one person, couple of one person, and we run 3 herds. There's 1,500 cows through this shed twice a day.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah.
And
But one person, we're milking with 2 at the moment,
Okay.
but we have a sort of like a herd muster or a herd. You know, the person go out on the bike and get their cows in.
Yeah.
So we batch milk them. So we have 3 herds.
Yeah.
Average, say 500 cows a head, and then they just one person goes out, gets the cows, one person starts milking,
Okay.
and then we push them through, and then another herd's coming in.
Okay.
So it's just continuous until the milking's finished.
Yeah.
Twice a day. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So we start milking at 4:30 in the morning.
Whoa.
They start 4:30 in the morning, and then they'll finish by 9:30.
Yeah.
And then in the afternoon they start at 12:30.
So you have 2 crew, maybe?
2 crew, yes.
Yeah.
So if you milk in the morning, like you might do 750 cows in the morning, but you don't milk at night.
Yeah.
So you might get cows in, so we alternate.
Yeah.
And they're on 6. The staff are on, or the team are on 6 on, 2 off. So 6 days on, 2 days off.
Okay.
That's how they rotate this system.
Okay.
And if you start early, if you start early, 1 day or 2 days, you'll get a later start to the afternoon next day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you talked about the brand of the cow. So how many liters per cow in average?
We probably peak at about 21
Okay.
litres.
Per
So
day.
per day.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is about 1.9 kilos of milk solid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you talk on kilos.
We get paid in kilos, yeah.
Okay.
We get paid.
And how it works for the commercialization of your milk here?
So we get paid on fat and protein, and our percentage of 1 litre is about 10%
Yeah.
solid, because of the Jersey and mix we've got.
Okay.
And each cow does about 400 to 420 kilos of solid a year
Okay.
for us, where like a crossbreed cow might do 440, 450.
Okay.
So Fonterra, the company we supply, we're shareholders in Fonterra, and all suppliers are shareholders.
Yeah.
And we export I think it's about 95% of New Zealand milk product through Fonterra is export.
Yeah.
And generally, so 20-25% to China, probably another 20-25% to Southeast Asia,
Oh yeah.
and then further afield, so Sri Lanka, Egypt, and other countries. I think Fonterra about 140 odd countries
Yeah.
exported. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a big activity here.
Yeah. I mean, it's the key. We obviously our population's not big enough, and we supply. So
And about the quality of the milk, you talk about the fat matter.
Fat matter, yeah. So
what is the average quality here?
Average quality, so yeah, like percentage of the milk. So we run about 5.5% fat and about 4.5% protein in that 1 litre.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we get paid, and that's how we get paid. So the Fonterra payment milk price is protein plus fat, minus volume.
Okay.
So a little small charge on volume cartage, but not a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have some restriction here in New Zealand about the livestock and about the breeding in general?
No real restriction. They sort of like we're having a nitrogen cap now of 190 kilos per hectare of N used, no more than applied. And most people below that. Stocking rates, we sort of work on that 3.5 cows to 4 cows to the hectare, and 4 cows as being the top end. So that's a bit of, I suppose, restriction. But in terms of production, not really. I'm just restricted by your cow numbers, and But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And more about your vision of the dairy farm. Can you tell me more about the future?
Future of our dairy farm?
Yeah.
In general.
In your farm and all
as in
farms.
general.
Yeah.
I think there's probably, I think the supply, milk production supply has been capped in New Zealand, and it's probably reducing a little bit just because of land use change. Like more population, environmental pressures and stuff.
Yeah.
But so we're probably at a spot where supply is at its maximum, I suppose, maybe, and it's probably come off its maximum. but I think in general, for the next 10, 20 years, it's probably in a positive space.
Yeah.
And we've spent a lot of money on environmental, or riparian plantings, creeks, and fencing off waterways, and I think synthetic fertiliser usage has dropped as well. And prices look good.
Yeah.
But who knows with commodities, they can go up and down.
Okay.
But I think generally the dairy industry is probably in a pretty good space.
Yeah.
It's a key export company for key export product for New Zealand. So
Okay.
it needs to be in a good space.
Cool. So thank you very much, Stewart, to
No
welcome
problem.
me on your farm.
No
I
problem.
will continue my trip around New Zealand.
Yeah.
And I hope you the best.
You're very welcome. No problem.
Ouais.
Good to meet you.
J'ai vraiment été surpris par l'autonomie des vaches dans cette ferme. C'était assez hallucinant. Et pour la petite anecdote, j'ai essayé d'envoyer mon drone à l'endroit où les vaches se trouvaient sur l'exploitation. C'était une pâture située à plus de 3 km, puisque j'ai envoyé mon drone et malheureusement je perdais le signal, j'ai pas réussi à aller jusqu'à la parcelle. Comme vous avez pu le voir sur les quelques images, les vaches ne se font pas prier pour venir à la traite. Et c'est assez impressionnant l'autoroute à vaches qu'il y a au milieu des pâtures. Et je sais pas si vous l'avez vu, mais il y a même un boviduc qui permet aux vaches d'aller en toute tranquillité jusqu'à la salle de traite. Voilà, cette première partie sur la Nouvelle-Zélande s'achève. J'espère qu'elle vous aura plu. La semaine prochaine, je vous réserve d'autres surprises, encore plus impressionnantes. Mais je vous en dis pas plus, je vous laisse avec ces quelques images. Si cette vidéo vous a plu, bien évidemment, n'oubliez pas de vous abonner et à activer la cloche pour ne manquer aucune de nos vidéos et surtout celle de la semaine prochaine. Et moi, je vous donne rendez-vous vendredi prochain à 19 h pour ce deuxième épisode sur la Nouvelle-Zélande. Bonne semaine à vous!